Hey everyone, this is Erin Stilger, and this is my week 3 video discussion for Comm 3233. And I, what are my feelings about copyright infringement and intellectual property? I'm really interested in that topic. In the work I do, that kind of plays a part. From the Napster case was interesting. I was actually in high school when Napster was having its heyday, and may have made a burned CD or two from music I downloaded from Napster. Please do not turn me in. But I think one of the interesting things from that case is how it kind of defined what was fair use or copyright infringement. And it seemed like one of the main points is that Napster was making money off of this, and then the music industry was losing money. And so that's an interesting fact. And kind of in the work I do as a graphic designer, I think anytime you're a creator, it's important to know what your rights are and what your employer's rights are as far as intellectual property, because like as a graphic designer, anything I create for work belongs to my work. And I used to work at OU, and so anything I created for OU I couldn't bring over and use at the state regents. So you have to be aware of that sort of thing. And also is like, if I do, work provides me with Adobe Creative Suite, and I can use that at home, but in the fine print, anything that I create with that is the property of my work. So if I did any freelance work with that Adobe Creative Suite, it would technically be the property of my work. They're not weird about that kind of stuff, but like if they ever wanted to be for any reason, like I wouldn't have a case. It's their property. So it's important to know and understand that kind of stuff. So anyway, that I think that it's important to learn about, and I think that's fair, if those things are established, those rules, and just it's important for us in the, that are in the industry, these industries, to understand that and be responsible for ourselves. So, and then where is the line drawn about obscenity, indecency, and profanity? I think that's an interesting question for these times that we live in. I thought kind of the key thing that stood out to me in that is in the FCC versus Pacifica case. They kept mentioning that indecent refers to non-conformance with accepted standards of morality, and patently offensive as measured by contemporary community standards was a quote I wrote down. So what they're measuring by is what, contemporary community standards. So how do we feel about that today? And I think that it's safe to say that, like in America today, in our culture, those standards have gone down. So what's considered indecent today is not what was considered indecent in, the 70s. That's probably a much looser standard these days to go by. But I also thought it was interesting that they were very clear that that what the FCC was doing was not censorship, because they weren't restricting these broadcasts beforehand. Because if they had done that, that would have been censorship. But the fact that they were reviewing them after they had been broadcast, and then regulating them from that point on, like saying, we might not renew your license as a broadcaster, because you broadcast these indecent programs or whatever, that was okay for the FCC to do that. That wasn't infringing on First Amendment rights, and wouldn't be considered censorship. So I thought that was an interesting point to be made. So how have broadcast regulations changed over time, if at all? I would say that, like, the regulations themselves probably haven't changed, but are, like, what we measure them by has changed. So if they're determining if something is indecent by how the community views indecency, then that has changed over the years. So anyway, I thought these were some interesting topics for this week, and I look forward to watching your videos and hearing your comments. Thanks. Bye.